It has been another busy week on the South African political front. We saw further developments in the incident surrounding the death of Marius Erasmus, also known as Witness D at the Madlanga Commission. There was also a big gathering in Johannesburg as the ANC held its 5th National General Council. In this episode, I look at each of these events and how they are likely to impact the country going forward. On the Van der Merwe incident, I argue that it should serve as a warning to the country that unless we properly implement measures to secure the well-being of witnesses and whistleblowers, we might not have too many coming forward in the future. As for the ANC, I ask whether it was worth it given the party's perilous financial and organizational state to hold another NGC. Hello everyone, welcome back to Joe Talks Politics. I am your host, Joseph Mosia. Let's get right into this. If there is news a chairperson of a commission of inquiry never wishes to receive, it is that one of their witnesses has been murdered, and in all likelihood because of their testimony. Marius van der Merwe had already given key testimony to the Madlanga Commission about serious wrongdoing by law enforcement officials, including torture, unlawful disposal of a body, and allegations involving senior officers. One of the Commission's core functions is to extract truthful evidence from people who have lived experience of corruption and complicity. If those people are killed, it raises fundamental doubts about whether the state can or will protect them. When a witness is assassinated, their direct testimony becomes harder to use in prosecutions, especially since defendants have a right to cross-examine living witnesses. Even recorded statements or summaries lose their effectiveness if others fear repercussions from using them in court. This undermines the Commission's ability to secure actionable referrals to prosecution and build airtight cases against powerful suspects. For perpetrators of corruption and violence, successful targeting of a whistleblower sends a potent message. The state cannot or will not fully shield those who expose wrongdoing. This signal is more powerful when the Commission and the government claim they can protect witnesses. Witnesses may now fear for their lives and those of their families, and potential informants might decide that staying silent is safer than testifying, even if their information would advance public accountability. In summary, the killing of Witness D is devastating and it erodes fundamental trust in the Commission's ability to safeguard those exposing corruption. It weakens evidence flows, potentially derailing investigations and prosecutions. It potentially deters other witnesses from coming forward. In short, when whistleblowers are silenced through violence, the very mechanisms designed to uncover truth and hold power to account are undercut. The test is now on what the state does to reassure the country and potential witnesses that they won't be next. President Ramaphosa says he wants those responsible to be brought to book.
The witness protection program must now be taken to a higher level. And I want results out of this investigation as quickly as possible, because we cannot allow this level of lawlessness, particularly the security cluster, to continue. The results of the Madlanga Commission are going to be implemented, because it is through what is being revealed in the Madlanga Commission that we'll be able to get to the bottom of the capture of the police that has been going on for quite a long time.
But angry words can only go so far. It is what the government does that will ultimately reassure the country that there is seriousness to deal with this scourge, especially since those being investigated are at the same time the very people we expect to protect witnesses and whistleblowers and investigate security lapses. It's not an enviable position to be in as Justice Mbuyiseni Madlanga and the other commissioners. Turning to the NGC. This gathering is the ANC's mid-term review forum, a space between national conferences for reflection, assessment, debate, and strategic reorientation. In theory, it allows delegates from branches, provinces, league structures, and allied formations to take stock of progress since the last conference and to chart future direction. This time it was held under the theme, The Year of Renewal, to make the ANC a more effective instrument of the people, emphasizing renewal, self-reflection, correction, and commitment. The ANC has talked about renewal for years, but the substance of renewal discussions has often remained at a high level rather than driving concrete change. Themes like discipline, organizational capacity, and ideological clarity have recurred through multiple leadership reports and gatherings. This NGC produced little that was new in terms of publicly released specific resolutions beyond reaffirmations of long-standing priorities such as strengthening transformation policies by defending BEE and the NHI, among others, continuing organizational renewal, including preparing a renewal charter. These are restatements of decades-old ANC commitments rather than fresh or transformative action. Since early in the democratic South Africa, internal reflection on organizational strength, governance, corruption, and service delivery have been focal points of ANC internal debates. Yet the substance of change at national, provincial, and local levels has often been glaringly absent. The ANC has acknowledged organizational weaknesses, including declining membership, weak branches, and factionalism. Put this year's resolutions side by side with those of the last 2 or 3 NGCs, and there is very little difference. ANC workers protested outside the NGC venue over unpaid or delayed salaries, provident fund contributions, and medical aid deductions, issues that have been recurring for years. Money spent on a large 4-day gathering, venue, logistics, accommodation, travel, and event services raises several questions when employees who keep the party machinery running are going unpaid, the party's financial position is under strain, and delegates are debating internal reform while staff are protesting outside. This makes a mockery of the renewal project. The party appears more capable of staging an internally focused conference than of managing its own finances and worker welfare. Given the ANC's broad resources and networks, it's reasonable to ask whether funds could have been reallocated to stabilize the party's finances, support branches in crisis, or boost practical programs at the grassroots level instead. One man who seems to have come out of this NGC with something to celebrate is the Secretary General, Fikile Mbalula. Mbalula was at the front and center of this NGC.
We thought we were bringing a Ferrari, but I think now that is a Taz that is operating there. So we need to get out of that particular situation. We have not been doing well. KZN, we disbanded the structure because we are facing existential crisis there, a tsunami. What do people do which we have given them a task? They are busy fighting over who must lead. Not the task we gave them. What do we do with such people? We put them aside.
While he made it his mission to muzzle his potential rivals for the ANC's presidency by suppressing any talk about succession, that only served to make sure he was unchallenged.
Amanda. Anna Amanda. Amanda. Amanda.
Amanda!
I have to admit, this was a political masterstroke. They say you underestimate Mbalula's political skills at your own peril. Paul Mashatile was sitting there with a mouthful of teeth, and he could only watch as Mbaks scored a major point towards 2027. Mashatile and the other contenders must have felt played and outmaneuvered. So, as we all prepare to go on vacation this year, there will be no break for those who have to figure out how to undo the damage brought about by the death of Witness D. I suppose Mbalula and the other ANC leaders will also spend this time at Luthuli House trying to find money for the workers. Please share your thoughts on these two issues in the comment section below. Please remember to like and share this episode. For those who are not yet subscribers, please hit that subscription button. It is only 2 weeks to the end of the year, and I really want to pass the 5,000 subscriber mark by then. That's all from me, Joseph Mosia. See you in the next episode.